Welcome back. It is the final day of the 12 days of COVID Christmas, and today we have some ideas for you to help make this Christmas Eve and Christmas Day feel special. All right, before we dive in, I want you to take a minute and hit the subscribe button if you are not subscribed already. This way you will be notified every time a new video goes live and you won't miss any of the fantastic content we have coming up for you in the new year. So back on day 6, I recorded a video talking about how you really don't have to do anything this season if you don't want to, and to give yourself grace and to not force it if you don't want to. But then the other 10 days, I have shared various activities with you guys that can be done safely while social distancing or isolating. And I think any of those activities, if this is the first video you are watching, I think you can do any of those activities over the next couple of days and even after Christmas to still make the season feel special while keeping your family safe. But today I wanted to talk specifically about Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. So we all know it's going to look different, but I wanted to share some ideas that can maybe make it feel extra special or a little bit more normal for you, even if you are distancing or isolating. So I want to start with Christmas Eve. I want to share what we're doing on Christmas Eve because I think it's something that you can do in your home and will make Christmas Eve special and a little bit more normal. So the first thing that we are going to do is we're going to actually watch church service at home. We have elected to stay home to watch our church service, and we have found one that will stream live, and we're going to watch that. I have picked up a couple of small candles so I can light them during Silent Night, and while we won't be, in a church, it will, still give that feeling because we are going to watch church service. So that's the first thing we're doing. So the second thing that I really want to encourage all of you to consider doing as well is I am going to make a Christmas Eve dinner that is special. And what I mean by that is not that every Christmas Eve dinner isn't special, it is every year, but this year specifically, I am going to make a recipe that we love, but I never make because it is incredibly time consuming. So I am making, Rachel Ray has this lasagna with meat ragu, and it is the best recipe. I think it is like her Italian grandmother's or someone's, I don't really know, but it involves making a ragu from scratch as well as a bechamel, which I think is the more traditional way to make a lasagna. It also includes making your own noodles. And so it's a pretty time-consuming process, but I think it'll be special. It's not something in any other year that I would probably attempt to do on Christmas Eve. So Christmas Eve is typically just full of too much activity to take the time to make something like this from scratch, where we're making every ingredient from scratch and my pasta from scratch and all of that. So I'm going to make a homemade lasagna, including my homemade noodles. So I think that's going to make it a little bit special this year as well. Outside of making, a really special meal, something that you normally wouldn't do, I think Christmas Eve would be really fun to try a Christmas Eve tradition from a different culture. So, in Italy, they do the Feast of the Seven Fishes. So a lot of Italians will have the Feast of the Seven Fishes on Christmas Eve, which I have always loved that concept and never been brave enough to attempt on Christmas Eve. And clearly I'm not brave enough to attempt this year either. It seemed like a lot of food for just us. But I think that is a great tradition if you have a little bit larger family. I think that would be really fun to do. So I think finding a tradition from a different culture and maybe taking the time to explore that if you just want to mix it up, and it makes this year special. I also think a fun idea would be to, if you've got kids at home, go ahead and make your cookies for Santa on Christmas Eve. Maybe you already do that, but that would be really fun. Also, picking out a Christmas movie, setting up a popcorn bar and just taking those, typical Christmas Eve things that you might do already and taking them up a level. Now going on to Christmas Day. For us, and I'm sure for a lot of you, Christmas Day was always full of family. We have a lot of family who is close by, or we would travel to see family. And this year, we're not going to have those big gatherings that we normally do. So, in our case specifically, we are going to see some family on Christmas Day, and we feel that we can see them safely from 6 feet away and visit with them on Christmas Day without increasing their risk or ours, keeping both their health and safety as well as ours in mind when we do so. But eating with them is something that we didn't think we could do in a safe manner. And so what we're going to do is we're going to visit from a safe distance, but I'm going to make a couple of dishes, they're going to make a couple of dishes, and then we're going to trade when we go over to see them on Christmas Day. So I'm going to handle a couple of sides and a dessert. They're going to handle the main entree and another couple of sides. And then when we go over, we will hand them some smaller dishes of the items that we have made. They will give us items or smaller dishes of the items that they have made. And then we will go back to our home to eat Christmas dinner. So that's one way to approach your Christmas dinner if you are in an area where you have family close by. That's one way that you can do it. So it's sort of still potluck style, but you're just trading dishes and then taking your dishes home. In previous years, Christmas Day has always been a pretty busy time, especially if we are staying at home. We see my parents in the morning, we'll see my grandmother and my aunt and my cousin in the afternoon, and then there's dinner and there's breakfast, and if I've got friends who are in town visiting their families, we might see them. So it generally just becomes a pretty long day. But by the time we're finally back home, even if we eat early and we're back home by 5 o'clock, we're just exhausted from the day. And I don't think that this year will be the same, obviously, since we aren't going to be gathering really with those outside of our home. So I already know a few things that my husband is getting for Christmas from my parents, and I haven't shared this with him yet because I don't give away what he's getting for Christmas, but I'm really excited to hopefully come back from seeing my family socially distanced and have him break out a few of those gifts because they are gifts for him, but I can benefit from them as well. So I'm sort of imagining that our Christmas Day will look like us coming home to eat dinner here, just the two of us, but being able to maybe open up and start playing with some of the things that he is getting for Christmas, which I'm really excited about as well. And then just taking it slow and actually embracing the quiet. The next day we will get up and we will head to see some family who live elsewhere in the state. And so just taking it, having a quiet night, relaxing, and I think that will be fun. I think one thing that you can do to make your Christmas Day special with just the people inside your home is to assign a dish to everyone. Again, you can do the traditional meal if you want to, or use this as an opportunity to do something new and do something different that you've never done before. And I think one thing that you could do that would be, really great is to assign a different dish to everyone in your house or let them pick what they're going to cook. So if you've got kids at home, this would be great for them. Ask them to make one dish and let them pick what it is. Let them cook it from start to finish. Give up the stress of your house being clean and perfect. It is Christmas. Forget about it. So one idea I love for Christmas morning is to actually take your time. So I know growing up, we used to always have breakfast casserole, or I'm sure some of you have had this as well, where it's, you've got either the bread or the potatoes, the breakfast meat, the eggs, the cheese, whatever. And then you put that in a casserole dish and you have this breakfast egg casserole. We used to always have that growing up. And I think one of the reasons my parents always did it is because It can be made the day before, go in the oven that morning, and it's, obviously pretty low labor on Christmas Day. And you guys know I'm all about make ahead stuff under normal circumstances. And then that way, when we were done opening gifts or in the middle of opening gifts or whatever it was, breakfast was ready without having to go in the kitchen and make a big mess. But this year, I think it would be really fun to take your time. You don't have anywhere else to go on Christmas Day this year. Take your time. Do something like make homemade cinnamon rolls or homemade pastries or something like that. Or set up a really fun Christmas brunch for your family and enjoy it that way. So I think those are a few ideas that will help this holiday feel a little bit more special. Obviously, FaceTiming with your family, opening your gifts with them over FaceTime. So let's say, grandma and grandpa can't come to visit this year. Open your gifts from them over FaceTime and vice versa. So those are just a few ideas to help this holiday feel a little bit more special for you. Thank you guys again for tuning in to the 12 Days of COVID Christmas. I will see you back in the new year. I'm signing off for the rest of 2020. Is anybody else in complete disbelief that we have made it to freaking 2021? I truthfully don't know where this year went, but here we are. Here we are. So I'm signing off for the rest of the year. I will see you guys back here in the new year with some new videos. And I would love it if you commented below, shared your Christmas plans with me, how you're going to make this year more special, given that it is not like other years. So I'd love it if you shared this Christmas and Christmas Eve plans with me. And also comment below if there's anything you want to see in the new year. I'd love to hear from you guys. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you have not done so already. And I will see you guys in 2021.